The goal behind what I'm going to share with you guys today is how to really assess, adapt, and thrive at home, right? So the goal is aging in place. There are certain things that we can do that I found pretty interesting, and I kind of put it to the test. I ended up buying a home in Cape Coral. And it was an extra home that I had, but I wanted to make it accessible. That was my goal, and to make it aging proof for whatever might happen in life. So I widened all the doors. I changed all the stoves, the tops, everything for it. I made things that were able to be lowered and higher. There's a lever, so when you open the cabinets, et cetera, that come down. So just giving you an idea, I kind of put my money where my mouth was. I wanted to see what this really cost, because prices are all over the place when it comes to construction. And so I wanted to see this, and I'll share all of those numbers with you guys as we go along, so you guys can have an idea of what it should cost, and really what kind of materials you need as well. So I'll start with, thank you. So, a little bit about me. There's nothing about me. Let's not worry about me. Let's get right into this, okay? What does a home maintenance program include? Just these are things that I'm sharing with you that you guys may be able to do at home, or if you have a friend or a neighbor, little things around the house, just to make sure that your house is safe. Right? Changing air filters, that's a big thing, respiratory, et cetera. Air purifiers as well, if you have those, they help. Air purifiers, I've seen them run, between 180 to 600 or even more if you get a whole house one. So there are different ones on the market.
Do they make a change? Because we change our AC filters every 6 months.
Good, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have this, we don't have carpet, we don't,
Yeah.
none of that. But with an air filter, will there be less dust? Because we still get a lot of dust.
So do you have a lot of windows?
We do.
Okay. A lot of dust comes in through the windows. But I'm not saying that's your case. I don't know the house exactly, but just to give you an example.
We have also patio doors that are all white.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. One thing I did learn at my own house was I was talking about just the airflow in general at my house, and we also change. We change them every 3 months at our house, and the quality of air filter obviously is when you should change your stuff. But the gentleman told us that we didn't have a large enough hole to supply that much air in specific areas. And that was a 23. Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, when I looked it up, it was about $2,300 to kind of redo the house. And I was like, maybe another time. I'll just keep changing air filters for now. Vacuum your AC drains as an example. So another thing outside, if you can get a vacuum AC drains, I've seen nice little DeWalt's as an example that are handheld, that are easy to go outside and do that. But again, I'm sharing you guys with tips that just make your air conditionings last longer, right? Things that you can do. Visually check cabinets for water leaks or underneath. If you have a chance to look underneath your sink, you can put a dry paper towel, and just go around where you see all of the connections. And if it's wet, you have something's going on, and it might not be enough because it evaporates, but just in general, it's a good thing to check. Check just gutters, smoke detectors, things around the house. Gutters are important. I know it's hard to get up there, and look, I don't even get up there anymore. We'll have some of our young guys in the neighborhood kind of jump up there, but a maintenance inspection after a storm of some sort, it's always nice to go up there and just make sure leaves, et cetera, aren't being blocked, because you do want that water to drain and not sit on your roof or in these creases. Heating and air, cooling systems, it's just good to have a manual check. It was like $49 for the AC company that I use, that I pay for, and it's once a year. They come by and they just make sure your AC is running.
$49?
$49.99, and that's just a subscription. It's a subscription based. Well, I also signed up for 2 years, so I think there's they kind of know that's coming in, right? And they're only at my house for 45 minutes, which is good. I mean, they're just checking everything. It's a peace of mind. Yeah, that's right, unless I pay for another year, right, exactly. test electrical outlets, just around the house. There's these great little devices you can buy. They're like $2. I think Temu sells them for, 80 cents or something, but you can just plug them right into an outlet. And it'll tell you right off the bat if you have negatives, positives, it'll tell you exactly what it should be. It lights up for you. But it's something nice to do after a storm as well. And I forgot to say, so I hope all of you and your families were okay during the storm here. So. Odor visual inspections, this morning my dog pooped in the guest bedroom. I had no idea until I smelled it when I walked by. So these are things that when you think of like odor and things around your house, if it doesn't smell like it was, when you bought the house, there might be something just to dig a little deeper into. Visual, ceilings, floors, after rainstorms, obviously look up, look down, make sure there's no rain in your house or on the windowsills, etc. Check batteries in a thermostat. We went to someone's house and the air conditioning guy, you had said they were crooks. Well, they actually had someone saying that they had to replace their whole air conditioning unit. It was 2 AAA batteries in their thermostat is all they had to replace. And she was about to spend $6,900,
Do all thermostats have batteries?
Mine do. All of mine do. And it's a newer one too. It's like, yeah, it's like the smaller ones, the C2032s or 2022s. If necessary, schedule repairs. That's just something if you have to do, just kind of schedule your repairs. This is all like my stuff, but we're gonna keep going. Mobility and aging population need and a home maintenance. If you are ever looking for someone to do this in general and you're contracting someone, usually get your friends, family, neighbors to do a lot of this stuff I'm sharing with you. We can also share this PowerPoint with you so you guys have all of these key notes. But safety, health, cost savings, peace of mind, that's the whole point behind even thinking about a program, a maintenance program, or getting someone to do it. It's for yourself. Mobility issues, as we age, we have mobility issues and it's hard to navigate around the home safely, including challenges with stairs, narrow hallways, tight spaces. And I'm going to give you guys an example of what it cost me to open every single doorway of this house that I bought versus what it would cost a builder to do from the beginning. Health concerns, we had talked about that, just you don't want any mold, lead, exposure to toxins. Falls are really common. Talking about falls, vanity is a factor, poor lighting is a factor, cluttered spaces, throw rugs that aren't taped down, or rugs in general that aren't taped down. Safety concerns at home, such as faulty electric systems. We talked a little bit about that. Broken locks, windows, doors. We didn't know that we needed new windows until Hurricane Ian hit, and everything leaked all around the windows. So it was like one of those things where we never faced something like that before, so we didn't know. As far as cleaning gutters, we talked about that, air filters. Social isolation, one of the good things about having a program in general, right? And I think we can all agree to this, we're all here today, is, that social isolation of having someone at least coming into your house, checking in, talking, and creating, some type of relationship there. So it's just a big part of having someone come by. What do we do when we see these issues? On the mobility side, widening hallways, we'll get right into that. Widening hallways, it cost me $550 average for every doorway I wanted to widen. Versus a builder, talking to almost every builder, some builders said it would cost an extra $5. Some said it would have saved them money because they wouldn't have to cut as much. But it all depended on the door price at the time. So just to give you an idea, if you are ever thinking about building or looking at a new space, wider doorways are a great way to go. You can get wheelchairs in there. You can get, wheelchair as an example in a room is 52 inches, 60 inches to do a full 360. I tested this at the house we did. I have my assistant has cerebral palsy, so he's in a wheelchair all the time, but he's in a pretty cool one that can stand up and he can move around and go to the restroom. So I really built this house and I had him come in and inspect it. I have it on video and everything too. I'll share that with everyone. But he was able to do 360s, go through every door. So the wider the doors were, the better, obviously for him. but the smallest door I had that he was able to get into was a 32-inch. And again, he has a fairly technical wheelchair that has some extra space on it. Health concerns, we talked about air duct cleaning, air purifiers. Falls, we spoke a little bit about, I think the first thing is figuring out where you could fall. And I say that because it's not just rugs. Sometimes it's in a hallway, if you notice that. Where to put these 2x10s behind the wall so you can put a handle on the side or a railing. So, home safety, Home safety, just testing your light switches, checking the batteries, your smoke alarm systems, carbon monoxide systems. Maintenance-wise, we talked a little bit about that. It's a lot of visual, just making sure that you know what you're looking for. If you notice something wasn't like that before, example, at our house we have crown molding around, but I'm noticing some of the crown molding has this little brown marks on them, and they keep growing every year, and I have no idea what this is. Well, so initially that's what I thought, but I had like painters come out, everyone came out, and they just said it's the wood and it just needs to be painted again. We're obviously at the side of like replace them all together and not worry about it, but it's just one of those things that we noticed, just again, visually looking at your house and remembering. The social isolation here was just more of conversing all the time with anyone that walks in and comes in, just as routine, anything, it's any business. And a lot of that is just for being able to share with people your issues, like things you didn't like that they did, things that you do like that they did, things that you want to see them continue doing. Technology. Technology's played a big role in a lot. Pull down shelves as an example. My mom can't lift her arm anymore, right? My dad uses a walker for everywhere he goes. So my dad does shake a lot when he lifts anything or opens cabinets. So we ended up getting him one of these pull-down shelves. It's easy enough for my mom. She can actually stack all of her, foods, ethnic foods, American foods, everything that she has, she can stack. And she just pulls a lever, and she doesn't have to lift high, but all of that will come down for her. So those are cool little technology features that are built into cabinets that help you. They are ones that are automated, ones that can even be connected to your Alexa or your voice recognition system in your home if you have that technology, which we'll talk about too. Health concerns, AC units, purifying systems, water detection systems. Water detection systems are very inexpensive. They're like $5. I know they don't do Radio Shacks anymore, but you can probably find them at like Ace Hardware. But they're like $5, $6 even on Amazon. And you just put this next to your water heater or underneath a sink. And if there's water that penetrates on top of it, it'll send you a cell phone text message saying sink in kitchen is water. Falls, lighting. If anything you take out of this conversation today, it's lighting, lighting, lighting. If you could just look around your house in any dim areas, think about if you're going to be in those dim areas at any time during the day or night. And I would definitely suggest increasing the lighting. Number one reason for falls is people can't see where they're going. And a lot of that, again, has to do with lighting. There's also health devices. Apple Watches are great if you fall. I had a friend wake up in the middle of the night recently, and he had a cardiac issue. There was a rhythm that was off, and it literally told him he was having a stroke. Got to the hospital, everything was okay. So these devices are really cool technology-wise. Motion detectors, we talked a bit about that. There's another thing called MyQ, which is on your garage, if you guys do have garages. It automatically closes the garage at any time that you set it to. So my parents, as an example, my dad has a tendency to leave the garage door open. He talks to all the neighbors. By the time he, gets himself inside the house, he forgets every time to turn the garage door off. So we set it up so every night at 11 p.m., his garage always shuts. I get a reminder on my phone as well, which is nice for myself and my sister who are caregivers, right? Reports, another cool thing is just maintenance reports. I mean, if you're bored and you have nothing to do and you want to check out how much, cooling system your house did or heating system your house did and try and work out the energy in your home, they have these awesome reports and a lot of these new technology devices. Social isolation, talking about that, there's Facebook portals, there's so many different ways to communicate, video ways to communicate with your loved ones, your caregivers, your doctors, et cetera. So if at any point anyone's interested in like a Facebook portal, you can find a lot of this information online. There's also reminders that are out there. So if your subscription's passed, it'll remind you saying, hey, it's been 20 days since your subscription, but it also connects to how much your physician gives you or the pharmacy gives you. So those are also really cool technology. And thank you again so much. I know I sped through that, but thank you so much for taking the time to stay. And I apologize again for being late to every single one of you and online.